I owe you guys a big thank you, and we're going to take a look at some dash cam footage where things go bad and then they actually go a little worse, so stay tuned. What's up, everybody? I am Sam. I am the safety supervisor for Meiborg and Silver Arrow. Thank you very much for taking a couple minutes out of your busy day to watch this safety update. I get a ton of feedback off of these. Thank you very much. I'm always more than happy to get that feedback. Let me know what I'm doing right. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. I'll tell you how you're wrong for thinking that I'm wrong. It's a great relationship that we have. So anyways, moving on. Last week, I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, we talked about personal conveyance. And I said that I'm going to start monitoring this a little more closely now that everybody's on Motive and we're all on the same system, and I can get reports and all that stuff. And you guys have come through very nicely. And even in the couple days that I've been monitoring it, I have seen it kind of dwindle down pretty substantially, which A, thank you very much for doing that, and B, makes me think that we were probably doing a little more PCing than we maybe should have. But no, you guys have been doing a great job watching the PC personal conveyance, for those who maybe don't know, and it's been a lot. The report I've been getting is getting a lot shorter. So, but again, if you do have questions about it, feel free to reach out to me. There are very legitimate reasons to use it. It is a tool that we allow you guys to use, and if we do see some abuse, we can turn it off. But like I said, I've been seeing the times go way down on it, and I just want to say thank you guys for and ladies for watching your PC use and keeping it at a minimum and using it for really what it should be used for. And you know, like I've talked to a couple of you about maybe going to yard move instead of PC. That's another valuable tool. It leaves you on duty, but it saves you drive time. And then, you know, once you're back into a dock there, you know, going into sleeper berth, that can save a lot of time too as well. Just utilizing your logs. That's what we're trying to do here. That's what I want to help you guys out with, to make sure that you guys can drive as much as you possibly can, make as much money as you possibly can, and drive safely as well. So there's ways to do it. I can help you with that. One thing that I want to talk to you really quick about, because I've been getting a couple incidences or notifications. I don't know what the exact word is, but we monitor everybody's license using a program called Supervision. It just keeps an eye on license, make sure that everything's good to go with that. We've been getting a couple hits from some guys saying that their CDL is invalid. And what we have seen 100% of the time with that is that you get a new CDL, or not a CDL, you get a new med card, and you don't self-certify that with your state. That is a very important step that you need to do. I know that in years past, people have been able to do it for you, but it's in the name now, self-certify. You need to contact your DMV and make sure that you are putting your med card onto your CDL. If you have questions about how to do it out of your particular state, I've got a link below here from the FMCSA that'll show you exactly what you can do. Some states you can do it online. Some states you actually have to go into the DMV, which, trust me, I get is no fun. But if you do not self-certify your med card to your CDL will actually become invalid. And like I said, we've been getting some notifications on that, but unfortunately, there have been a couple incidences, whatever, where guys have been getting pulled into weigh stations and they've been getting inspections, and the DOT officer is the one that tells them, hey, you know you don't have a valid license, right? And in the one case that happened, the driver was able to take care of it right there, but it still went against the CSA as a driver fitness violation, put out of service. It turned into a 10-point stop. Times that by the time wait, that's a 30-point stop. It was a bad deal, okay? So he was able to fix it and correct it and move on, but it still was a hit to the CSA score. So if you are getting a new med card, which you probably do every year or at least every other year, make sure that when you get that, you take that to the DMV or you email it or you call. Again, I got a link below that tells you how to do it from your state. make sure that you're doing that last process, because if you don't self-certify that thing, your CDL becomes invalid or it gets dropped down to a lower class. So we don't want that. We don't want DOT to find that out for us. So just make sure that you're completing that last step with that, okay? Again, if you have questions, hit the link below. It'll answer every question you got from each state. So, all right, cool. So now let's watch some dash cam footage of something bad that actually gets a little worse. Okay, so here we are. We are down in Houston, Texas. Ever heard of it? Kind of a big town. But we're in Houston, Texas, and we are in, I don't know, some place with a lot of bridges and a lot of concrete and a lot of traffic. I know it's not bumper to bumper, but there's a lot of cars moving in and out. And we are just headed down the road here, going through some stoplights. And I want to say, I want to preface this whole thing with the driver in as far as road signals go and everything like that is in the right. He's doing everything right. He's got the green lights and whatever. So let's take a look at what happened, and you'll maybe see what I mean by it gets bad and then it gets a tad worse. So just playing here, going through an intersection. Another one up ahead, and we see we have a pickup truck pulling out in front of us. So that shouldn't happen, okay? All right, that, I don't know, maybe you're a new driver to the system, but your hood flying up like that, that shouldn't happen. So let's go back, let's take a look at this here again. Now, we're going through an intersection, we're doing the speed limit. I don't have that on here, but I did see it in the previous one. We're doing the speed limit, but right here, we've got the green light, but that pickup truck is coming out in front of us. So our driver luckily had an escape route. You know, we've talked about that before of kind of having a backup plan. What happens if someone like this pickup truck pulls out in front of you? Do you know what's in the lanes next to you? Do you have an escape route? That's always very important to know your entire surroundings when you're driving this stuff, because cars like this pull out in front of you. Again, they're not professional drivers. You are. So make sure that you know what's going on around you. Unfortunately, with this pickup truck coming out, now our driver did a good job of avoiding the pickup truck, but didn't do that great of a job latching down his hood. It's kind of like that scene from Tommy Boy. I don't know if you've ever seen it, where they leave the oil can in and all of a sudden the hood pops up on them. Not as comical in real life as it was in that fantastic movie, but this shouldn't happen. So what we need to do, and I talked to the driver, and what had happened was another driver was helping him out, put some fluid in, I think his windshield washer fluid or something like that, and he just kind of trusted that other driver latched the hood down. And obviously that didn't happen. So what you want to do is make sure before you take off, if someone else is working on your truck, do another little pre-trip. I'm not saying you have to get up and under and everything, but for goodness sakes, just make sure that the hood latches are secured so that when you have to slam on your brakes, your hood doesn't come flying up in front of you, and now all of a sudden you're sitting in traffic with a hood that is laying up and you're kind of blind to the road, okay? So, in fact, I was talking with, I don't remember who I was talking with, but I was talking to somebody, and they were saying how they do about 10 pre-trip inspections every day. Whenever they get out of their truck, they just kind of do a walk around real quick, check on some things. This would be a good one to check out if you had someone else working on your truck, okay? Making sure that just the simplest things like hood latches are down, because when you're driving down the road, not a big deal. You know, the wind will keep your hood down. But if you ever come into a situation where you have to slam on your brakes because someone else did something wrong, this is a very real possibility. And we're lucky that we didn't break any springs on that hood. We didn't break any of the hinges that were on the hood, which is lucky, because that could have turned out to much more worse than it actually was. We were able to just put it back down, latch it up, and away we go. But we just got to make sure that we're keeping an eye on our equipment, especially if other people have been messing around with it or even helping. You know, the other driver was just helping, but he forgot to put the latches on. And rare occasion, yeah, that was a pretty rare instance, but not unheard of. So always make sure you know what's going on with your equipment, okay? We entrust these trucks and trailers to you guys, and you do a fantastic job with them. A lot of you treat this stuff like it was your own, and we appreciate that. We really do. But if you ever have someone else helping you, just do a quick check, okay? I don't want this to happen to you, because I talked with the driver, and that is a very scary situation when that happens. First off, you got to avoid that truck coming out, and then secondly, when your hood pops up like that, that'll get your heart racing a little bit. So anyways, take care of the equipment, make sure that you're doing your proper pre-trips and just checking even the most minute things, because you never know when you're gonna have to slam on your brakes and something like this might happen. Okay, cool. If you do have any questions about anything that we've talked about, or anything else in general, I guess, feel free to reach out to me. Contact information is at the bottom. A lot of you already know it. A lot of you already text me, call me, email me. I'm available there. So, but if you do have any questions, let me know. And as always, I say it every week, but I mean it every week. Make sure that you drive safe.